We're back, ranking some more itty-bitty ancient games in this episode of Little Big Thumbs. Starting back in 2024, Lemery Games has been sending us their collections of ancient games rooted in Asia, Africa, and America. And now, their final collection of ancient games is about to launch on Kickstarter. And we've got a sneak peek at this set as well. My name is JP, and you're watching Little Big Thumbs, a channel that's all about finding great games that are equally fun for little players and big players. Over the next few minutes, we're going to offer a lightning quick peek at each of these 4 games, presenting them in the order that we most enjoyed them. Now, I should clarify that we've only played these ancient games with the traditional rules included in the game, but Lemery Games has included all sorts of variants for each of these 4 games that you might want to explore when you check out their campaign. Let's not delay any further, let's get things started and find out all about the first of the games in this ancient games collection. In Petteia, 2 players are commanding a clash of matching armies. Each side has 24 regular pieces and a special leader piece, with the goal being to trap enemy pieces between 2 of your own to capture them, making kind of a warrior sandwich. Every piece can move across the board as far as they like, up and down, left or right, but there's no moving diagonal and there's no hopping over other pieces. The leaders move in the exact same way, but they can hop over a single clump of enemies, coming to a stop immediately on the other side of that daredevil hop. It's just enough of a boost to make those pieces truly special in this game without really disrupting the symmetrical aspect of this abstract strategy game. But while those special leader pieces have a bit more flair, if one of them is ever captured, then the other team has immediately won the game. Of the 4 games in this set, Petteia has the most epic feel, while still being easily accessible for kids and adults to enjoy together. That rich simplicity is the reason why Petteia is our #1 game in this Ludos Europe collection. In our next game, we're rolling dice and racing reindeer, and the name of that game is called Sahkku. The game board here uses a looping path as these reindeer are looping up and down, looking for that perfect opportunity to capture one another or maybe even gain control of that main lead bossy buck. Kind of like in Sorry or Trouble, each piece in this game starts off inactive, stuck in their home spaces. To activate them, a Sahkku must be rolled, which looks like a wide X symbol. Once a reindeer is on that track, they're looping up and down that snaking pathway looking for an opportunity to capture an opposing reindeer. There's also that lead buck, which can switch sides several times in the game, acting as something of a raving rogue Rudolph. The game ends when one player captures all of the opposing active reindeer on the board, which means the game can end suddenly if one player keeps too many of their reindeer at those starting spaces. It may feel a little unfair in the moment, but it adds an air of excitement to the game, which is something that's not always present in these ancient abstract experiences. Sahkku's one major point of frustration for me is that it's possible to roll nothing on these barrel dice, which it means you don't get to do anything, you just lose a turn. And that one strike against it is what's going to take Sahkku down to the #2 spot in our Ludos Europe collection. Next up, we're heading to Ireland for some asymmetric Viking action in a game called Brandubh. In this game, one player is controlling the king and its 4 defenders, while the opponent manipulates 8 attackers trying to capture the king. The king starts in the middle of the board, surrounded by its royal guard, and its goal is to reach one of the 4 corners to escape to safety. If this happens, the king player immediately wins the game. Meanwhile, the attackers start closer to the edges of the board, kind of as if they've traveled from far away to reach this dramatic, climactic showdown. Much like in Petteia, the attackers can capture their foes with a pinchy sandwich situation, and if the king is captured in this way, the game immediately ends. And also like in Petteia, the pieces in this game can move as far as they like, up and down, side to side, no diagonals and no hopping over other pieces. And if we're sticking with the Brandubh versus Petteia comparisons, this is the main point I'd like to make. The story of Brandubh is more enticing and personal than that of Petteia, but it's the gameplay of the latter that's kept us coming back for more. There's still plenty of puzzly fun to be had with Brandubh, but it's not really in contention for our top spot in this collection, which is why we're ranking it number 3. One bear, 3 gladiators, 1 winner. Our final game in this collection is called Bear Hunt, and it originates from the Roman Empire. In this game, one player is the bear, starting in the middle of the board, and the other controls a trio of highly trained warriors seeking to trap the bear so that it has nowhere left to move. Whoever is controlling that singular furry beast simply needs to last 40 turns in order to win the game. Players take turns moving one space at a time, and unlike the other games in this collection, there is no capturing of any kind. The bear is just trying to outlast the gladiators, and the gladiators are trying to outmaneuver the bear. With so few pieces in this one, it's definitely the most compact and portable of the collection, but from a gameplay perspective, it's particularly tricky for the bear player to win this game. As the other asymmetric game in this collection, the easy point of comparison here is Brandubh, and I have no doubt that different players are going to enjoy each of those games for different reasons. For my older daughter, who is a vegetarian animal lover, the mere title of this game pushed it to the bottom spot of this ranking. She was reluctantly willing to play one game of Bear Hunt, but after that, there was no more. There was no chance of playing this game ever again, at least with her. It might be the simplest and quickest of the 4 games, but despite all of that accessibility, it simply can't escape the number 4 spot in our LittleBigThumbs Ludos Europe ranking. So there you have it, 4 ancient games from Europe ranked in the order that we most enjoyed them at our family gaming table. As with the previous ancient game collections, we have a package here that looks quite luxurious, but is ultimately really a minimalistic approach. And the way those small boxes hide in the main collectible box with those little pull tags is really and truly satisfying. At the time of this recording, Lemery Games was preparing to launch this Ludos Europe collection on Kickstarter, and you can find links to that campaign as well as the Lemery Games website in the description of this video. And as with the previous campaigns, I'm pretty sure that they're bringing back the pay what you can pledge level, where you can get one of these 4 games in that little silky sack with no other packaging included. And if you can only choose one, well, now you've got our picks for which games got the most love on our gaming table. But if you're thinking of the full collection, well, these full sets look amazing on the shelf, and discovering the various collections over these last few years has really been one of our gaming highlights. I'm a bit sad that this is the last entry in this Ludos Ancient Games collection, but at the same time, you've got to respect that symmetry of it all. There's 4 games in each collection, and there's 4 collections as a whole. Thank you to Lemery Games for giving us a sneak peek at this new Ludos Europe Ancient Games collection. And as always, thank all of you for watching. We will be back again soon, and until then, whether you've got little players or big players, make sure that you keep playing games that make your thumbs go way up. Bye for now.